Right, jumped on this very last minute, but there was a Zwift update just before this. Oh, unbelievable. Everything's just falling apart around me here. Alright, to add to confusion, looks like it's a mass cat start. Never like those. Well, I just jumped on this last minute. Had a job cancellation. Decided I'd get one more training right in before I go on holidays. And let's get in the pack here. Hey, lads aren't hanging around. Didn't get a warm up because there was an update on Zwift beforehand, and trying to get Bluetooth connections to work ever since. Zwift controllers didn't want to connect, heart rate didn't want to connect. And I'm fairly sure the heart rate is going to drop out at some stage. Because it was connecting and then dropping. Shut down and restart everything. And then literally 60 seconds before race start, managed to get some connections. Hello? Yeah, even Bank of Ireland are having some technical issues. Alright, let's get settled in here. At least this will be the warm-up before our aqueduct and then the Petit Com. Yeah, so this race just seemed to be the most convenient one. I haven't really looked too much at it or who's in it or what's going on. But I know by looking at it that it's the aqueduct and it's Petit Com. And the mass cat start is good for numbers, but it does complicate the tactics a little bit. As we may have some B guys that are very capable of drafting with some A guys. Let's see how we go. Yeah, then my mic fell down. Couldn't find my headband and stuff, which I eventually did find. And then my headphones didn't want to connect. What's that in here? Oh. Sorry there's no music, guys, but one thing and another, I was happy just to get into this race on time and see if I can get some graphics on. Even Sauce for Zwift is wanting me to update. What's going on? It's not as if I haven't been out here for a month and missed a load of updates. Anyway. Not even Sauce is not working properly. Ollie, I need to give up on all that. Let's just do this race. Looks like we have 5 or 6 A riders. One, two, three. Maybe something like 10 B riders, something like that. Can't see all the way back. Maybe a bit more. And then a lot of C lads. So my guess is everyone will survive the aqueduct. It's just a matter of how much it will hurt to survive the aqueduct. And then all we'll together to Petit Com. A few guys will set an early fast pace. The rest of us will try and hang on. I think we're doing a great job until we're about 2 bends from the end. When the really strong guys will just do the Princess and the Bride act where they go, I am not left-handed, I am right-handed. Which basically means you were on the edge of your ability the whole way up, and you were kind of hoping everyone else was as well. But there's always a handful of guys that have plenty in reserve and just kick it up another gear when you're out of gears, figuratively and literally. And yeah, even some of these sea guys, I wouldn't doubt their capability over a 5 minute punchy climb. So as usual, keep your nose out of the wind, stay involved for as long as possible, and see what we have left at the end. I don't mind it stretching like that when there's 2 and 3 riders across the road. Where I get nervous is if it's stretching out into single file and then you're dependent on everyone holding the wheel in front of you. And if one guy drops it, and then if you're 2 or 3 riders back from that, you now have an awful lot of ground to cover to get back to that front group. So single file, nervous. Triple file, it's fine. You'd need a lot to break up or fall apart to be losing the draft. So like here now, I'll be like, okay, 3 guys single file in front of me. I don't particularly fancy that. Little kick, get onto the back of the fatter group, tuck in again. Like that thin line behind now. Some of those lads are having to work hard. If you look at the numbers behind me, 4.7, 5.3, 6, 7. So at some stage you have to put it in. And now if you look behind, there's actually a gap. Now it's a red dot, so he's an A rider. So he's probably just having a bit of fun. So yeah, now I look back at that gap, those riders dropped. Would have been so easy to be stuck behind them. So especially in a mixed cat start, you don't want to be dependent on guys in front of you holding the wheel. No harm getting out of the saddle either and just turning a few pedals at a higher gear. Stretches out a few different muscles. Now draft with another banner up ahead, so I'm not sure what power-ups are in this race. So I'm happy to burn the draft before this banner in the hope that I might get a feather. If I had a feather right now, I would just hang on to it. So there's definitely arrows and there's drafts. I don't remember seeing any feathers, but if anyone got them, they're probably hanging on to them. Yeah, there is a feather available. Arrow it is. Not the end of the world. So we'll burn this arrow. Probably more at the top of the com when we get onto the flat bit. Just before the next banner. And go back into the roulette for a feather for the petite com. Personally, everyone burning these power-ups now, I don't see the sense. I think you're better off sitting in here, keep your power up, get to the top of the aqueduct, and on that flat bit, that's when you're going to want whatever power up you have to kick in my opinion. Definitely don't want to be caught too far back, having to make up too much ground on this com. I'll get to the front now, keep my nose out of the wind. Oh, this is nice. It's okay. Draft. Not too bad. Got a bit jittery there. I'm not liking that. I did see a few comments on a couple of Facebook groups about this recent update, and it being a little unstable. But I'm away on a week's holidays tomorrow, so hopefully by the time I get back there's another update. Okay, so we dropped, by the looks of things, a few C guys, a couple of B guys actually. Maybe just positioned themselves a little too far back on that climb. 1, 2, 3, looks like 3 B guys got dropped on that aqueduct. It wasn't a particularly fast pace up it, so I think positioning wise they just sat back with a bunch of C lads and then just got caught out on the other side where it started going downhill. And the front group was just moving faster than the group behind. So now what have we got? Is 1 C, 2 C's, A's and B's and 2 C's left in this group. So it's been a relatively nice pace. What am I averaging? 250. Heart rate's under 130. Legs feel okay. I've been doing a lot of training over the last few weeks, so they are fatiguing a bit quicker than I'd like. But if it's a relatively easy pace for me, it's relatively easy for everyone. And here's where we'll have the fireworks. Here we go already. They're not easing into it. T-com, right turn easy, left turn hard. 5:29. It's not too shabby. I'm happy enough for the guy behind me to catch up, but I also don't want to give to him for nothing. I'll dangle just enough in front to keep him coming. But not let him get on for free. I want him to have a bit of fatigue in the legs. Now if he wants to close 2 seconds, he's going to have to work. Right, he's on. Oh, I thought it was turning right there. Yeah, played it how I want. It's all about the climb. Another good workout. Yeah. Again, I'm making the most of what I have. 3.4 versus 3.7. 3.7, 3.7. 3.8 behind me. 3.5. And power wise, you know, watts wise, like 327 is a bit of an outlier. But I'm usually amongst the lowest overall Oscar kilogram, which is just racing smart, making up for deficits you might have in weight or power. So yeah, very happy with that. And no matter what, still a solid workout. Right, a way off for a cool down. This time I will see you in a week. And that's it, that's all folks. Have a good week and be careful with that update. I don't think it's quite stable yet.